Hey everyone, so today I am back with one more real interview experience, right? Our subscriber Arman cracked the Java developer interview at HCL Tech and he shared each and every question with me. I'll also add his LinkedIn profile in the description if he permits. Okay, he has basically 3 years of experience in Java, Spring Boot, and microservices. And guys, like always, along with the questions, I will also tell you what kind of answer the interviewer was expecting. Okay, so you will get the full context and you will know how to handle the same questions in your own interviews, right? And guys, if you want to share your interview experiences, then please fill out the form below in the description. Before we start, if you are preparing for Java, Spring Boot, or microservices interviews, then please subscribe to this channel. I keep posting real questions asked in the top companies. Okay, so according to Arman, he applied through HCL Tech career portal. Okay, and after a few days, a recruiter called him. It was a short screening call. She checked his profile, his notice period, his numbers, and she also asked 2 or 3 quick technical things, right? And then his interviews were scheduled. There were total 2 technical rounds and 1 techno-managerial round. Okay, so guys, let's start with the first technical round. This went around 1 hour. Arman said the interviewer was a senior developer and he started from the project. Then he went fully into the core Java, and at the end he gave one small coding question. The tone was calm and he was giving hints as well. Okay, so guys, after introduction and project discussion, he asked what is the difference between an abstract class and an interface, and when would you use each one, like use cases. So an abstract class can have a state and constructor, and a class can extend only one, right? An interface has no state. A class can implement many. So we use an abstract class for a common base with a shared code and an interface for a common behavior. Okay. Then guys, he asks what happens internally when you put an object in a hash map. Very important question. So first the map calls the hash code on the key and finds the bucket, right? Then it checks that bucket using equals. Okay. If the key is already there, the values get replaced, right? Otherwise a new node is added. And when one bucket becomes too big, it changes into a tree. That's called treeification. After that, he asked what is the difference between fail fast and fail safe iterators. Okay, so a fail fast iterators throw concurrent modification exception if we change the collection while looping, like in array list or hash map. Whereas a fail safe iterator works on a copy or on a separate structure, so it does not throw, like in copy on write array list and concurrent hash map. Okay, then the interviewer moved to Java and asked what is the difference between map and flat map. So map changes each element into one new element. So we get the same number of items. Flat map is used when each element gives us a list and it joins all those small lists into the one single stream, right? So it flattens the nested structure. Okay. The next question was what is optional and how does it help? Very important question. So optional is like a box that may or may not have a value. It helps us avoid null pointer exceptions, right? Because we handle the empty case with methods like is present or else throw. And we normally use it as a return type, not for fields. Okay. Then he shifted to the exceptions and he asked what is the difference between an checked and unchecked exception. Very common and very simple question. And which one do you use in your project? Arman said he did not stop at the definition, right? He connected it to the spring as well. And the interviewer impressed, right? So the expected answer would be checked exception is checked at compile time. So we must handle it or declare it like IO exception, right? Whereas an unchecked exception one comes at runtime like null pointer exception. In our project, we create custom unchecked exceptions because Spring rolls back the transactions on runtime exceptions. Are you getting my point? And before moving ahead, guys, I want to share that Arman prepared from our interview preparation kit and cracked multiple interviews. So, guys, this kit has 4 main parts. First is complete interview preparation material. It is a step-by-step material made by me, expert, and MNC's interviewers. 99% of the questions asked in interviews are covered in it already, right? Second is 2 real enterprise client projects. Code and video recorded sessions are there, and you can add this in your resume. Okay. Third is lifetime chat support. Here you can ask your doubts anytime. Fourth is referral support. Here we help you to get referred to the top MNCs. So basically the material is organized as per your experience level and covers Java, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, microservices, Kafka, Maven, Git, coding question, stream API coding questions, and many more. You can buy just the complete interview preparation material or the full kit with project supports and referrals. Okay, I have added the links in the description below. So now moving to our interview experience. Then guys, interview asks a simple but important one. What is the difference between request param and path variable annotation? So path variable annotations take the values from the URL path itself, like slash user slash 101. And the request param takes it from the query string, like questions mark ID equals 101. Right? So we use path variable for the resource ID and request param for the filters and paging. That's the basic difference. Okay. And the last thing in this round was a small coding question. Write a program to find the duplicate elements in the list using Java 8 stream. Okay, so Arman said he explained the logic first, then he wrote the code. And guys, you also have to follow this order, right? You can find the solution of this coding in the description below. Otherwise, video would be very longer. Guys, now let's start with the second round. And this round was tougher. Arman said the second interview was from the architecture side. So he went straight into the Spring Security, microservices, and database, right? And there were two coding questions at the end of this interview. First question was, how do you secure your REST APIs? Have you used JWT? So first user logs in and we return a signed JWT token. Then the client sends a token in the authorization header for every call, right? And after that, a filter checks the token and sets a user in the Spring Security context. Okay. Then he asks a follow-up question, how does the Spring Security filter chain work? So every request goes through the chain of filters before it reaches our controller. First, the authentication filter checks the token or the login details. Then the authorization part checks the roles, right? And if anything fails, the request is stopped there and we get a 401 or 403. Are you getting my point? Next, he moved to the microservices and asked, how does service discovery work with Eureka? So every microservices register itself with the Eureka server when it starts, and it keeps sending a heartbeat, right? So other services do not need the IP address. Okay, they just call the service by its name and Eureka gives the running instance at the time. Are you getting my point? Guys, then he asked, what is the use of Fiend client? This is important question. So Fiend lets us call another microservice by just writing an interface. We put Fiend client with the service name. Spring creates the calling code for us. So we do not write REST template code. And it also works with Eureka and load balancing. And guys, then he asked a scenario based question. And the question was, one of your microservices is down. How will your service handle it? Very important question. Arman said he answered this in steps, and the interviewer said this is exactly what he wanted to hear. So the correct answer is, first add a timeout. So we do not wait forever, right? Then we add a retry for small network issues, right? And after that, we use a circuit breaker like resilience forge. So after repeated failures, the call stops and fallback responses goes back. Okay. Guys, then he asks, how do you keep one common configuration for all your microservices? Right? So we should know this answer. So we use the Spring Cloud config server. All the properties files stay in one Git repo, and every service picks its configs from there at startup. Right? So we keep one file for common settings and separate files for each environment like dev and prod. Now the round move to the database side, and listen now carefully. What is the difference between JPA and Hibernate, and what is the N+1 problem? So the JPA is only the specification and Hibernate is the implementation we actually use, right? The N+1 problem happens when one query loads a parent list and then a separate query runs for each child. We fix it with a join fetch or with an entity graph. Are you getting my point? Then he asks, what is the difference between get and load in Hibernate? So basically get does to the database right away, and if the row is not there, it returns null, right? Whereas load only gives a proxy object and the database call happens when we actually use it. And if the row is missing, it throws object not found exception. And guys, next question was, how do you write a custom query in Spring Data JPA? So we have three ways, right? First, we can write a derived method name like find by status and date. Then we can put a query on the method and write JPQL. And we need database specific SQL, so we use the same query with the native query set to true. Are you getting my point? And after that, guys, he asked, have you used caching and how did you implement it? A very important question. So yes, we use a Spring Cache with Redis, you can say. First, we add enable caching, then we put cacheable annotation on the read method, and then cache evict on the update method. So old data does not stay. And we always had a TTL. Remember this, okay? Then he asked one more scenario question. And the question was, in production, when API suddenly becomes slow, how will you find the problem? So first we check the logs and the response time in the monitoring tools. Then we see if the problem is in our code, in the database, or in the downstream service that we have to check out, right? And after that, we check the slow query as well, the thread pool and the connection pool as well. And then guys, the coding part started. The first one was find the frequency of each word in a sentence using Java 8. First, split the sentence by a space and make a stream of words, right? Then we use collector sort grouping by on the word itself, and as the downstream collector, we use collector sort counting, right? So we get a map of each word and its count. Okay. And the second coding question was, given an array of numbers, find the pair whose sum is equal to a given target. Right. So guys, also I'll add the solution of these coding questions as well in the description below. Otherwise, video would be longer. Right. Now let's start the technical managerial round. And I will not give the answer of these questions as well, since they vary from person to person. Are you getting my point? So it started with, how is your team structured and where do you fit in? Then he asked, tell me one technical discussion you took and why you took it. And the next question he asked, how do you make sure the code quality stays good in your team? Then guys, he gave a situation, what will you do if the requirement changes in the middle of the sprint? Right? After that, he asked, tell me about a production issue you handle and what was your approach and challenges. And then he asked, your lead gives you a design that you do not agree with, what will you do? Next, he asked, how do you manage your time when you have many tasks together? And then, guys, he asked about client work. Are you comfortable with client calls and demos, right? And that's it, guys. Arman cleared all 4 rounds, including screening. And within about 1 week, he got his offer letter from HCL Tech for the Java developer role. And guys, one thing you can clearly see from his experience, he never gave one word answers. Every answer had a small structure, first this, then this, right? This is what makes an average answer sounds like an experienced one, right? So if you found this video helpful, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. It really motivates me to bring more real interview experiences. Drop a comment and tell me which company or which topic you want next. And if you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now, because I post these type of videos regularly. All the best for your interviews. Thank you. Bye bye.